Hi y'all, welcome back. If you watched one or two videos ago, I cut my lemon balm back so that I could freeze dry it, and I took off a lot. And this is, I don't know, maybe a week or so. Look how it's come back. It's just amazing how it grows. Alright, so just wanted to do a quick update on the lemon balm. Got green beans, more green beans. Those are contender bush beans. Those are garbanzos. These are just some greens. This right here, the disturbed, all this in here is where I was just pulling weeds. That's all that right there. And then that little bit right there is what I just pulled just from this bed. This is the cover that I made to protect the squash, and I think I did that maybe a week and a half ago maybe. And it's been raining for the last couple of days, and look at this. It grew. I have it holding on to that because the cage was squashing it down, putting pressure on it, so it was leaning over. So I went ahead and just took that off. I have that one. It still could grow a little bit more into it, but I figured I'd just take it off to avoid any problems. I have some volunteer calendula from last year. Anyway, I just came out here actually to pull weeds, and I saw the lemon balm, and I was like, oh wow, here is one of my cucumber plants. Actually, there's a few in there, and I'm trying to get in so that you can see. Some of the flowers. So that's pretty exciting. I have a Market More in here and a Wisconsin SMR. And the Market More has just taken off. All right, off to another bed. This is the first year I'm growing shishito peppers, and I am just impressed at how soon they start producing. I don't know if you can look at this. And I have a few shishito, well, I think 3 shishito plants, and this one's producing. There's one back there that I'll try to zoom into, but it's producing as well. And I think I have one other one, and we'll go look at it in a minute. This is an Armenian cucumber plant, and it doesn't have any flowers on it. Those flowers that back there, those are weeds. That's an Armenian. Let's see what else we can show you. This one is also a cucumber, and it's pretty short. I actually have 2 in here, and these are the alpha cucumbers. Look at them. Love seeing those flowers. So far, it's pretty short. I imagine it'll take off. And there's another one. This one is a dar cucumber. And I don't see any flowers. Y'all, I think this fennel wants to be harvested. Look at this. I mean, I just harvested maybe like 2 weeks ago. That's ready. Then I've got greens. What kind of green beans are those? Those are strike bush beans. More greens. That right back here is red Malabar spinach. First time growing that. I imagine it's supposed to take off, but it sure is it sure is going slow so far. That's one. Let's see. And that one right next to it, and they were planted at the same time. You see the size difference. And then that one, and then that one over there. I'm not sure how well they'll do. They're supposed to be good for the south, so we'll see. And more greens. And back there, those are red noodle pole beans, and those will take off and go up the arches. Bachelor's button, there's two, which now I'm rethinking. I went ahead and I planted these this year. That one over there is a volunteer from last year, and it is just taken up several of my squares in there. I don't want to pull it out because it's so pretty and the pollinators love it, but it is really crowding my tomatoes. We'll take you over to that bed in just a minute. So I'm really rethinking this. It may not affect so much since the red noodle beans are going to go ahead and go up the trellis. And that's a gourd back there, marigold, and the gourd is going to go up the trellis as well. And then the greens, it'll just maybe provide some shade for the greens, so I may be able to leave it. I'm not sure. That one over there, we'll get a close-up. Right here, I have Kershaw squash, North Georgia candy roaster squash. And you see all these weeds that I have to pull. This is like, I think I didn't pull last week, so maybe week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. This is the bed. You don't see any weeds in here because I just went ahead and pulled all of these in these little boxes. I normally go ahead and use these little boxes to plant in, just things that don't need that much space. But I just haven't gotten around to it this year. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move to another bed. All right, so we're over here with the bachelor's button. You can see just how big it is. I'll take you on the other. I've put it through the boxes right here just to try to keep it off of everything because it was leaning over to the other side. But I was pretty excited because I came out and, I'm walking around and look, little tomato and then all the little blooms. I have to go ahead and pick all the suckers off of these. This is an indeterminate tomato, so you want to make sure you pick the suckers off. And this right here is a sucker. It comes out in the V's or Y's, whatever you want to call that area right there. And it's just going to take nutrition from your trees. And I did this maybe a week ago. There's another one, how it is right there. And so this one's the sucker. And all you got to do is just pinch it off. If you come out here and do it often while they're small, it's a lot easier to do than when they get big. Then you actually have to cut them off. And this right here, I try to keep the first like 12 inches from the soil without any branches, just like one straight branch. So I am going to be coming out here. I actually am out here, and I'm going to be pinching the suckers off, and I'm also going to be cutting off anything that I have missed. See, this one is a pretty big sucker right here, but they'll continue to grow. And they'll produce, but they just take energy away. So, I just broke that branch right there, so I'm not going to let it spend time healing. I just go ahead and take it off. That one is Bonnie's Best. You see the little blooms. And, it's just going nuts. So I have to come and take all that off. Okay, that's weeds. So you see where I have just, but yeah, I keep saying that because I'm looking and so many suckers. But anyway, and I'm huffing because I'm having to squat and get up. All right, so this one right here is Bonnie's Best. This one right here with the tiny little tomato I just showed you, that is Black Cherry. And then We have the bachelor's button taking up all that room. And then this tomato is, I planted so many tomatoes, but I don't think that this one is labeled correctly, so we'll just see as it grows. And then next to it, with some blooms as well, is, what is that one? Blueberry. And then this one is a sweetie. And that one is, let's see, the sweetie doesn't have, yeah, this is the sweetie. See, little, tiny little suckers. I try to keep up with the suckers, like, at least once a week. But I try to go with 2. So this sweetie, you see the little tomatoes. That's so exciting. So those are the tomatoes I have up on this trellis. Then coming around to this side, I got Burgurken cucumbers. And see the weeds? I haven't pulled this bed yet. You see this? It's just insane. And you see all that in there on the bottom of the tomatoes? All that over there. It's just, I mean, like a week and a half. And it's just, oh, it's exhausting. I'm losing. If you can see, I am losing this. I am not winning this battle. So I got Burgurkens there, and then I have a tomato here. I think it's a black cherry. Yep, black cherry. And there's no blooms on it, but they'll be soon. We have a black cherry tomato on the other side. Sucker. Sucker. And there's so many that I probably do miss some when I come out here. You know, I might not get all of them. That is a nasturtium that I planted there. Borage. All right, what is this? A chocolate pepper. Oh, and look at that. Look, let me try to get in there good. Look at that. All right, so those are the only ones I see on there. Moving along, look at this. This is some kind of like creeping grass. Its roots just go like all along the bed. I mean, they're just several feet long. It's ridiculous. All right, this is the other shishito. Look at this. Look at that. That's what, 4, 5 peppers. 3 smaller ones and then 2 bigger ones. I don't even know when these are ready to harvest because, like I said, this is my first time growing them. Oh, and look, there's more down here. I hope I like the taste because I'm definitely liking how early they come up. And then behind them, I have jade. Let's see. Jade bush bean. And you see the holes? It's bugs, birds. Over there, I have, what is that? Swiss chard. Jalapeno. We got a jalapeno pepper. We have other tiny little buds coming up. Then next to that, all right, and this is a San Marzano. And I think I'm going to have to put a cage around it or something. It seems to be leaning a little bit, or maybe just something to help it. But there was nothing on here a few days ago when I came out. And look at these. It's got tomatoes back there. These are for canning or for paste tomatoes. Oh, I came out here early too so that I could go ahead and beat the hot weather and the sun. Let's see if you can see it from here. That's the bachelor's button. See how much it's taken? And then here it's laying down where it's just falling over. I really don't want to take it down because the flowers are so pretty and the pollinators really like it. So I'm not sure just yet. I really don't need it bothering the tomatoes and the peppers. I mean, the green beans will be fine. I don't think they care much. This is a 42-day tomato. And y'all, I have been trying to grow this tomato. I think this is my 3rd year, and it has never done anything for me. It's like it'll germinate little sprouts, and then it doesn't do anything more than that. And that's when it even germinates. And this year, I mean, you see some of the leaves are yellowing. It's not looking the best. Do have to maybe prune some of the stuff off of the bottom on this one. And this is a determinate tomatoes. But look at this. That's super exciting. Like 3 years, might be a little bit longer, of me trying to grow these. And look at all the blooms. So that's looking promising. And then the last tomato on this bed is the German green. And last year I grew this tomato, and it grew, the stem will get so thick. I mean, it was like a little tree. But it only gave me like 2 or 3 tomatoes. They were big tomatoes, but it was only like 2 or 3, and it took up a lot of room. There's blooms, a lot of greenery, just a few blooms. We'll see. This bed is the, oh, look at that, going to seed. This is a radish. These were my, what was it, wasabi radish, daikon, and I don't remember what the third kind was. But we pulled a whole bunch of greens because we'll go ahead and freeze dry them or dehydrate them and powder them for smoothies and soups and stuff like that. And we came and took so many greens from here, and look at it. It's just a bed of greens. And I think that was not last weekend, the weekend before. Or maybe it was last weekend. I don't know. I'd have to look. And we have all those, which we'll go ahead and come get more greens. These are not supposed to be ready yet. Oh, look. Yay. Do have a radish. Oh, there's more right there. This one right here, what was the name of it? Let me find the label. Japanese wasabi. This was a free seed packet that I got from Baker Creek. We've never grown these or anything like that. But there's a couple that I can see over the top. This one, I don't know why that one's even going to seed. They don't see a radish. I think those back there are the daikons, and then the middle ones were the watermelon radishes. That's what the middle ones are. And then over here was the rutabaga and turnip. And so we went ahead and picked greens off of here as well. And they're all growing back. So that's that bed. So we'll probably, today is Friday, so I'll probably come out here tomorrow and harvest a bunch of those greens. Of course, I got to leave enough greens for my radishes to continue to grow, but that's a lot. Right here is, one of those is Cushaw squash, and the other is Romanesco zucchini. And I have the netting because of the squash bugs. This is a no label early girl indeterminate tomato. Collards, mushrooms. This is another blueberry tomato. It's got a few blooms on it. Not very many. I need to come out here and get some of these off. What is this? Swiss chard. That back there is another black cherry tomato, and you see it has blooms on it. Jade strike bush beans, which I getting eaten up. Straight 8 cucumber. Look at that. Little blossoms. Ford hook, Swiss chard. Strike bush bean back there. This is another blue cherry tomato. And it has little plumes, some nasturtiums. These are some of the beans that were eaten up. Something was getting in here, which is why we went and got some of these just to scare things away. But yeah, this blueberry tomato, this is what it does. It just bushes out everywhere. Collards. Sweetie tomato back here. I need to get a pin and pin that up there so it's not leaning this way. More collards. And an alpha cucumber, which the leaves are not looking good. It's all coming. Something's been eating them. I wonder what bug this is. All right, that was that bed. And then moving over here, I have several different peas growing. And I didn't label them because obviously when they're big, you can tell what they are. This is the first year I'm growing this. Blush something, I do believe. But look at them. How pretty. And some of these are definitely ready to pick. Okay. Well, maybe that wasn't ready because it's not coming off. So I really like the color, the color on those. They're good. Different ones. Those are that. So that's all. Peas right there. The beets didn't come up very well. All right. Then moving over here to this bed. I have radishes that I'm just going to let go to seed so that I can have more seeds. Basils right here, along with all these weeds. So I only have the basils right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 different kinds of basils. Let's see what I have. Cinnamon basil, holy basil, mammoth basil, which doesn't look mammoth at all so far, and the purple ruffle basil, which is no longer even here. It is gone. And then all the weeds. But we just picked these radishes. This was a radish bed, and we just picked it last weekend. And we did leave some for them to go to seed. Like, look at this one. So what I'll plant in this bed is more bush beans. Now, on that end, with the trellis, I have pole beans and cucumbers. And we'll go to that side, and I can tell you what they are. And then on this end over here, with the trellis, I have cucumbers as well. We'll go over there now. All right, so we got bird gherkins right there. And straight 8 cucumber. And we see little flower on that. I've got some blooms on that. And then that's a radish going to seed or flowering, and then it'll go to seed. It's just doing exactly what we want it to do. Then over here, these are, well, aside from the radishes, because there's still a few radishes here, but I have pole beans amongst the radishes there, and they will come up and they'll grab onto here and they'll just grow up. So I'm not worried about the radishes really bothering them. And they will make their way up. I'll help them if I have to. And then we have some more alpha cucumber right there. We have market more, and you see the difference in this market more compared to the one I showed you in the beginning of the video. They were planted at the same time, and this is like a third of the size. All right, so that's market more. This is suyo long. Those are radishes, and oh, that pretty flower. What kind of cucumber is that? That's a dar. And more radishes. And over here we have Armenian cucumber. And then more beans. And so I've showed you everything that is within the fence. And then if we come out, the fig trees. So I guess those did die. And there's the new growth. So we'll see how that goes. That's Mexican marigold mint right there, which I thought was going to be like really big, but it's not. Bachelor's button, which again I'm thinking was not a good idea. The amaranth didn't succeed. Calendula. That was supposed to be a California poppy there. I think that's just a weed. I don't know. Another calendula. I think this one back here is a borage. No, that's another calendula. Now, I'm not sure if that's amaranth or if that's a weed. I don't know. I'll have to look to see what the seedlings look like, because that's a new one for me. Another Mexican marigold mint. And then this front row right here is black chia seeds. And the second row is black sesame, with, of course, the in-betweens with, like the borage, the calendulas. And that's another borage. I think I'm going to take this one off. Let it do its thing. Look at that. I showed you those. And the label is all the way in the back. Yeah, this one is the Romanesco, which appears to be doing really well. And that one is the Kershaw. We'll see how those do. Right in the front, we have Spicy Globe basil, spicy basil, sweet basil. And they're looking good. Over here, we have green tomatillo. Look at all little blooms on there. It's looking good. And then over here, we have the purple tomatillo. Look at the spread on that one. And then that's supposed to be a marshmallow. I don't think it did well. Back there, I put some seeds. I think thyme and maybe rosemary all along there. And I've got mushrooms, and then I have a few, maybe it wasn't rosemary, maybe it was parsley. I don't know, but I don't see any thyme. All right, let's see. Behind the tomatillo, right there is which this tomatillo is going nuts. Oh, it smells too. It's so strong. But it's my chamomile, which wasn't doing well, but it shaped up. So I'm going to have to do something about this. All right, well, I just stuck it through the fence. But that might be a little bit of a problem for the chamomile. It's going to get shaded because this tomatillo still has a lot of growing to do. And then back here, I think these were marshmallows. Yeah, marshmallows. All 6. And that back there, I think it's another early girl. This is a sunflower. I think this is another sunflower. Collards. Cilantro. I got regular cilantro and slow bolt. That's yummy. Calendula. Spinach. Red Malabar spinach. All right, and these are like the other radishes where we came and harvested the greens. Look at this. It doesn't look like we did a thing. I think we harvested these. Today is a week because we did it last Saturday. And I think we'll go ahead and come back out here and harvest them again and preserve them. Also, I like taking these, the big leaves like this, and I'll put my mayo or whatever on there, and then my turkey. I'll just make a wrap with it. It's huge. They're strong enough that they don't break on you. But yeah, and they're not bitter. It hasn't gotten hot enough, I guess, for them to get bitter, because eventually they do get bitter. But so far, we're doing good. This is the bed where I planted the parsnips, and they didn't come up, so I planted a few other things in here. So I got sunflower maybe, a pepper. I don't think that kale is going to do anything, but a kale probably because it's shaded. All right, and then this is another bed. Let's start with the back. Oh, that's a mystery tomato because I didn't label it, so I don't know what it is. I'll know maybe once the tomatoes come in. That's the same, a mystery tomato. Those two are the same. Then right here I have a black cherry tomato. Right here I have a pepper, and this is a cayenne long slim, which if you remember a video from a few weeks ago, it was so droopy and it just did not look good at all. But look at it. It's thriving. All right. These I have not grown before. This is the ground cherry tomato. And it kind of smells like the strong smell coming off of the tomatillos. But you see all the little husk, pretty little flowers. It's just got so many. And so it has the husk, and then inside, like this husk, when I touch it, the tomatoes in there. But yeah, so that's one plant. And I do square foot gardening, so I gave it a foot, and as you can see, it is, that's the plant, which you see it's kind of going into that bed, and then going into this square right here. This square is cayenne purple for that little one. And then this is another ground cherry. You see how big it is? And same thing, a bunch of little husk blooms. We'll see how they do. So just, it's probably going to take up that bed. We'll see. Might have not been ideal to plant them in there, but I didn't know. All right, this is a beefsteak. No blooms or anything on it. Eggplant back there. This is, which those leaves are not looking great. Something's getting them. See all the little holes. This is another cayenne long. And that's an eggplant. This is the Green Knight eggplant. That's the Black Beauty eggplant. The Green Knight looks pretty big. Nasturtium. Listen to dino kale. A pepper. I think that is, oh, that's Basilla pepper. Sunflowers. Sunflowers. Kale. Kale. These are both, well, this is dino kale, the dino Lucinto, like that one over there. And then that's Black Magic kale. And look at it, it's just so pretty. Calendula. Sunflower. Calendula. Rosita eggplant. And then we have another German green tomato, which you can see how much room it takes up. And a gobstopper tomato. And look at that. So that was the end of these two beds. All right, and then coming out into the yard and grow bags, we have Sugar Baby watermelon. I have an apple tree. This is William's Pride. And it's really hard to capture on camera. I don't know if you can see that, but we sprayed with neem oil, and it does not look to have worked. Don't know what we'll do, because I showed you those leaves, but then, look at that. That's ridiculous. Like, what in the world do? I don't want it to tear or destroy my apple tree. So that's one apple tree. Then right here we have Kajari melon. It's pretty small. First time growing them, so I guess they're doing okay. Behind it, over here we have the russet Bartlett pear. And the trees that I have, they are dwarf trees. And then this is another pear tree, Moonglow pear. This one over here is my Liberty apple. And it seems to be doing okay. It's got some bug damage. Y'all, if you're from the South, you know ant mounds. It's ridiculous. They're just everywhere, which is why I normally come out here in tall boots, because you can be in an ant pile at any moment. And I've tried, I think in a previous video I said I was going to try something natural and bring you along, and it hasn't worked, so not even going to bother with that. Then over here we have okra. And these over here are the orange Jang okra. And then I have Heavy Hitter and Clemson spineless. I don't know which one is which on these. I didn't label. But these are looking really puny, just really short, not what I would expect from my okra. I'm hoping they do well. I don't know. And over here we have sweet potatoes. And sweet potatoes. And I think those are Wisconsin SMR cucumbers, which were looking really puny when I moved the other ones. And so I didn't move this one. See what I mean? Like, this is looking good, so I may just clip all that. That one just never really came up, did much more than that. And I don't even know how these weeds are in there. As you can see, I have it covered. And then I'll bring you over here and show you my muscadines, which are trying to grab onto the kudzu. And you see all this little damage that was worms or caterpillars, which I sprayed it with BT. I did a short on that, and I mean the damage is already done on those leaves, but I don't see any more of the worms, so the BT worked. Or worms, caterpillars, whatever they were, I don't know. So that's a muscadine, and we planted this last year. I didn't prune them last year because it was brand new plant. We just planted it in the middle of the season, and so I wanted it to get established, and so I just let it be because there really wasn't much to prune. I mean, it was like this tall. There wasn't much there, but now it's developing, getting all these branches, and I know that I have to prune it somehow. I'm hoping that all this leaf damage didn't really cause much damage, so I have that one there because that way it has room to spread that way, and it has room to spread this way, and then this, I have one there that can spread this way and can spread that way. So I think, guys, because I came back here and I'm showing you all this, and I just weeded those two beds, and then I'm going to have to come back out either, it's starting to rain on me, come out either later tonight or this weekend and get rid of the suckers and the tomatoes, finish weeding all the other beds. Well, that's all I have to do out there. It'll take several hours, but I did all that, and then I did this video, and I need to go inside. So there's those, and then this is our axe throwing station, and I'm going to put up a video on that, how we put it together, or how we made it, because it's all handmade from just wood that we had. Bare root bushes, berry bushes that I got maybe 3 weeks ago. They're so tiny. They didn't come in the containers. These are just containers that I'm reusing from blueberry bushes from last year, which I didn't show you up front. I have 2 blueberry bushes out there, and they've got blueberries on them. They're still small, though. The plant itself is only maybe 2 feet tall. It's not very tall, but this is a pink lemonade blueberry, and the person I got it from said to keep it away from the sun, so I have it back here in a shaded area till it gets strong, and it looks really puny, and I don't know if it'll make it or not, but we'll still keep it out of the sun and make sure that the root ball stays watered and let it do its thing. This one is a Chandler blueberry, and these are supposed to produce really nice. I'll try to find a picture and put it up with it for all of these, but really pretty big blueberries. And so same thing with this one. It's a bigger plant, but it looks puny to me. But I'm doing what he told me to do, so we'll see. And then this is a blackberry, and it's looking pretty good, but it's not ready to be out in the sun. I just said keep it out of the sun until it's strong, and it doesn't look so strong, so I'm not putting it in the sun. This is a Big Daddy blackberry. So I'm pretty excited for these. I hope that they do well and that I can go ahead and get them in the ground. Maybe, definitely won't get them in the ground this year, but maybe next year. All right, guys, and I think that is going to go ahead and end this tour because I am just exhausted. All right, well, I just came inside from the garden and I went ahead and took these out. These are eggs from our chickens, and I weighed them, and they are done. And I went ahead and gave them extra time, a lot more extra time, so that maybe I can go ahead and sit down for a few minutes and then maybe make lunch and everything I have to do, and then get ready to get these out and bag them for long-term storage. That's how exhausted I am from the garden, that I just gave this extra time so I don't have to deal with it right now. Alright guys, thank you for spending your time with me. I hope that y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Till next time.